Welcome everyone to the final edition of Seahawk Central Sports. I'm Lucas Haskins, standing alongside Ben Tyson.
Today we have a great show lined up as Lucas and I debate some trendy sports topics, and we have some of the best plays of the year for you. But first, let's get to some Hawk news. The men's tennis team climbed to 38th in the Intercollegiate Tennis Association rankings this past week. The team, coached by Matt Dubois, jumped 8 spots to attain its highest national ranking ever. But Coach Dubois doesn't put a lot of stock in it, saying that at, quote, this time of year the rankings kind of go out the window, and it's all about who shows up ready to play at the NCAA tournament, end quote. The Seahawks will compete in the NCAA Regionals on the weekend of May 13th and 14th. Go to uncwsports.com for news, scores, and updates all summer long.
The UNCW track and relay team set a school record and finished second in the college championship at the Penn Relays this past weekend. The 4x800 relay team, featuring Wills Horndry, Remy Tammer, Max Middleman, and Bob Vanderham, was named Colonial Athletic Association Track Athletes of the Week. They also broke the previous record in that event by 3.5 of a second. They face off in the CAA championships this week in Richmond, Virginia.
Hofstra completed a series sweep of UNCW's softball team this past Sunday at Bozeman Field. They were led by sophomore Tessa Zimba, who knocked in 4 RBIs to lead the Pride to a 5-1 victory. The Seahawks were held to only 3 hits in the game. The victory gave the Pride sole possession of first place as they improved to 35-11 overall and 16-1 in conference play. UNCW moved to 11-42 and 3-15 in conference play. The Seahawks closed out this disappointing regular season with 3 games at home against George Mason this weekend.
Johnny Bladel had 2 hits and 3 relievers combined to hold UNCW to a run over the final 4 1/3 innings as Jay Madison completed a sweep of visiting UNCW with a 9-6 win on Sunday at Veterans Memorial Park. Josh Futter picked up the win out of the bullpen for the Dukes, who swept UNCW for the first time since 2002. Futter tossed 3 innings of no-hit baseball. With the sweep, the Dukes raised their record to 30-15 and 15-9 in the league. The Seahawks, who suffered their 5th straight loss, dropped to 23-21 and 12-9 in CAA play. The Seahawks look to rebound and get back on track as they will host their next 5 games home at Brooks Field.
UNCW recruit Adam Smith has been selected to the prestigious Parade Magazine All-America Boys Basketball Team. Smith, a 6'1", 175-pound shooting guard from Fayetteville, Georgia, averaged 26.2 points last season and led Fayette County to the Class 4A semifinals. He finished as the school's all-time leading scorer and was listed on Parade's second team. He was also named runner-up for Mr. Georgia in basketball by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. And to add on to all of that, Smith was the only Georgia player selected for the Parade All-American team. The publication spotlighted 40 seniors from 22 states. Quote, "It's a tremendous honor for Adam," said Buzz Peterson, UNCW's head coach. "He had a very good high school career, and we're looking forward to having him join our basketball family," end quote. Smith is one of 8 prep standouts that have signed with the Seahawks for the 2011-2012 season.
The CAA will welcome in 2 new men's basketball coaches next season. Towson and George Mason have new lead men taking over their sidelines. George Mason introduced former Georgia Tech coach Paul Hewitt to become their new head coach. This was announced this past week as he is the 9th coach in the Patriots' 44-year history, replacing Jim Larinaga, who left last month for Miami after 14 seasons with the CAA. Hewitt will take over a program that returns 4 starters from a 27-win team that reached the NCAA tournament last season. Towson University will turn over its program to Pittsburgh assistant Pat Scarry. Scarry agreed to a 5-year contract, which is tied to the opening of Towson's $68 million arena for the 2013-2014 season. The Seahawks will look forward to competition from both CAA programs in upcoming years.
Seniors Josh Brock and Brittany Blackwell brought home the awards for UNCW's best student athletes on Monday night. Each led his and her team to a postseason appearance and received the Thomas V. Mosley Award at the annual Athletic Awards banquet at the Bernie Center. Kinshuk Sharma and Megan Novak won the Chancellor's Cup Awards for athletic and academic excellence. Indy Smith won the Soaring Seahawk Award, while Terry Horton was given the Williams J. Brooks Distinguished Service Award, and the men's golf team earned the Team Leadership Award. Congratulations to them, and especially to the seniors. We'll be right back to debate some trendy topics in the sports world. Stay tuned. Seahawks Central Sports will be
right back. Welcome back to Seahawks Central Sports. Ben and I are here to do some debating. So, voice from the sky, what's the first topic?
This year has been a very successful season for several Seahawk programs. However, which one do you think was the best team this year?
Well, I'm going to start things off. I'll say the UNCW golf team was the best this year. Josh Brock was named CAA Player of the Week 3 times. He was the CAA medalist in the CAA championships, which were held at the notoriously difficult Pinehurst number 8. He shot a 72 in the first round, a 71 in the second round, a 71 on Sunday. And he's just one person, but you include him with the rest of the team. Thomas Bass and Payne McLeod also finished in the top 10.
I agree. The golf team definitely had a great year. Josh Brock is probably one of our most standout athletes we've had here in a long time. He's garnered public attention when he qualified and played in the U.S. Open last year, or 2 years ago, I believe. That's just quite an accomplishment, especially for a college-age person. However, Ben, you are wrong. The best team here at UNCW, not just this year, not just last year, but for the past 16 straight years, has been the men's swimming and diving team. Coach Dave Allen, Hall of Fame coach, has coached them to their 16th straight CAA championship, 16th straight.
Led by who?
I don't need to name names.
See,
I don't need to name names.
Led
by Dave Allen. Led by Hall of Fame Dave Allen.
You don't know any of the players'
Oh, you
names.
know
I just named you 3 golfers, and they all finished in
because
the
you
top
went
10.
on UNCWsports.com and you looked up 3 golfers. Oh, okay. All right. How about a team that wins championships, Ben? And when you win 16 straight championships and you totally dominate, when you receive national rankings.
When you can name me one swimmer or diver, then I'll give it to you. But other than that, I'm going to say the golf team. All right, next question.
Okay, next topic. Tuesday, our new chancellor was announced. Dr. Gary Miller. He follows Rosemary DiPaolo. What can the new chancellor do to improve UNCW athletics?
Well, the first thing you got to do, you got to get money. You got to get money. That's why we lost our last athletic director. That's our job. The new athletic director is going to depend on his ability to raise money. You got to raise funds, especially in the CAA. We are not a Carolina. We are not an NC State. We are not a Duke. We need to raise money. Also, I think he needs to realistically pick what he wants for this school. Are we going to be a big school? Is that our goal, to be a big North Carolina State public school up there with the likes of ECUs and, maybe a step below the states in North Carolina? It's not that big, but if you want to be that big, then we got to have a football team.
Well, that is an interesting point, and that's why we're not on the level of other schools. I think that he should renovate the baseball facilities to get them at least on par with ECU. I know you can't expect us to be on the level of ACC schools, and like ECU, the ACC schools, they also have football teams that bring in money. But Tyler Heffernan, he wrote a great article in the Seahawk about a month ago that just talked about how the condition of our baseball facilities is lackluster. It recruits, they want to come here, they want to be by the beach, all the beautiful women, but then they see the baseball facilities and they're just like, no,
Well, it's interesting because the CAA championship or conference championship is held here, at least has been held here for the past 3 or 4 years.
It's being held here this year.
Yeah, and it has been held here in past years as well. Brooks Field is a nice field. I don't know, maybe the facilities they're talking about are the, maybe the locker rooms and such like that, but
the field house is the newest thing. It's nice, but I mean, you don't have anything in the outfield. There's a whole lot of room back there for expansion, but it hasn't been expanded upon. You have no seats in the outfield. If you look at Clark LeClaire Stadium in Greenville for East Carolina, they renovated a few years ago after they made it to the NCAA World Series. And it's just a lot nicer facility as far as the fandom. Like, really, people come out to ECU baseball games. Yeah. And when ECU played here earlier in the year, there were more purple and gold in the stands than there were teal.
Okay, next topic, Ben. This past Thursday was the 2011 NFL Draft. The Carolina Panthers selected the controversial but ridiculously talented Heisman winner Cam Newton. What's to make of this pick?
Well, he's better than Blaine Gabbert. I think that we can all say that in his career he will be better than Blaine Gabbert. He's a champion no matter where he went. He was a champion in 2009 at Florida. He was a champion in 2010 at Blinn College. He was a champion last year with Auburn. All he does is win. AP Player of the Year, Walter Camp Award winner, Maxwell Award winner, Davey O'Brien Award winner, Manning Award winner. I don't even know what that is. Is that name for Peyton Manning? And, of course, the Heisman Trophy winner. Cam Newton is going to be a star. He's going to be in the Pro Bowl within 3 years. He looks excited to be a Panther. New head coach Ron Rivera will make a system that works with him.
Okay. First off, please do not give this guy credit for this championship at Florida. Come on.
He was on the team. That's all I'm pointing out. He's a winner. He was not detrimental to the team.
He didn't take a snap the whole year, and he left the school.
He took a few snaps.
He left the school. He did not take a single. No, he did not. Cam Newton did not have a single snap in the Florida jersey. Never had a snap in the regular season in a Florida jersey. Tim Tebow took every single snap. And he wasn't even the second. He wasn't
I've
even the
seen him on the
backup
field.
guy
I've
there.
seen him on the
He
field.
wasn't even the backup guy there. But I do agree with you. He is a champion. He won at JUCO. He won in Auburn. Led them to undefeated season through the SAC. Was head and shoulders above everybody else in
the draft.
In the draft.
Yeah.
He's easily
Literally head
the
and
most
shoulders,
talented college.
half a foot
He was
taller.
he was literally the most talented college player this past year, without a doubt. However, I don't think that translates to the NFL. I think the amount of pressure that Carolina just put on Cam Newton, taking him number one, making him the future, hopefully, of their franchise. The last time they had a top 5 pick, they spent it well. They spent it on Peppers out of Carolina. He was stable in that defense, led them to Super Bowl. He made that defense tenacious. That was a great pick. I thought they had a chance to make a similar pick. Marcel Darius was on the board. I would
like him to go to the Broncos.
That guy in 5 years is going to be in the Pro Bowl.
This guy in 3 years is going to be in the Pro Bowl.
I think that's too much. That's too much of a risk.
It's
That's
really
too much.
not. He's far more accomplished in college than any quarterback
He
has in the
played
past
for
years.
what? Whoa. Tim Tebow, who just came out last year, was a Heisman.
I would like
won the
to hear-
Heisman twice
calm
and
down,
won 2
buddy.
national
I would
championships.
like to hear Tebow's opinion on Cam Newton. I really would like to hear that because
I'm
they
sure
did,
you would
they,
think
they
he's
did
good.
play together. On
I'm
the
sure you would
practice
think he's
field.
good. I just think it's way too much pressure, way too much risk.
I
You
don't
don't
think
know
so.
what's going on with this guy. You don't.
You don't
He's
know what's going on with Sam
230
Bradford last
He
year.
took 230
He
sacks.
tore his shoulder the year before, didn't play a snap. Comes in, he's rookie of the year. Okay, why
Exactly.
not? The big thing for me is,
But Bradford is a pocket
Newton,
quarterback.
The question for me is, will Cam Newton still want to be a Panther in 5 years when he's already been to the Pro Bowl? There's going to be a lot of interest from other places.
Okay, wait a
I
minute.
hope
Wait
he
a
stays out of
minute.
trouble. I
The
hope he stays out
fact
of
that
legal
you are
trouble.
talking about other teams wanting Cam Newton in 5 years is ludicrous.
Do you think Cam Newton's a small market quarterback?
Okay, next topic.
I can't.
However, Cam Newton did score 4 touchdowns at Florida. Now,
Thank
to some
you.
basketball, the
Disembodied
NBA
voice.
playoffs are in full swing with 4 second-round matchups. Lucas, Ben, who do you have advancing to the NBA Finals?
I'm going to say Celtics-Lakers. I like the Celtics. Addition of Jermaine O'Neal, as well as Jeff Green. But how about the Hawks? That's who people are really not talking about. They sent Jameer Nelson tickets to their game against the Bulls because, as Nelson famously predicted, he claimed the Magic would beat them in the first round. They lost 4-1. I think this Heat-Celtics series will go down as an all-time great, as well as the LA-Oklahoma City series in the next round.
I think that LA, Boston may be the smart pick, quote unquote, what people want to say. They're probably the 2 favorites in it right now. However, I think they're too old. I think they're too tired. Both those teams have played more games over the past few years than any of these other teams. They are old. These guys are veterans, and they have that, but they're showing it. Lakers late in the game last night. Fisher taking shots that did not look. Pau Gasol is looking terrible.
Yeah.
Pau Gasol is looking terrible, and Bynum is great, and Odom is too. But you need Pau. You can't. They're not going to be able to win it
I
off
agree.
just Bynum and Odom. They are going to need Pau. I'm going to go dark horse. I'm going to say Oklahoma City. I really think they can do it. I think
They're a pretty trendy pick. I mean,
they are.
The Mavericks will be a dark horse.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if the Mavericks are going to get through this series. I think the Lakers are going to make it to the Western Conference Championship. I think they're that
What do you
good.
think of the Bulls?
I like the Bulls. I like Derrick Rose. They
you
might
like
just be too
Boozer?
young. They might just be too young.
Boozer in the clutch?
Yeah, Boozer's clutch.
Boozer's not
Boozer's
young.
clutch.
No,
God,
no.
he's a Duke player, but
Boozer did nothing the last
no, I know, but
series.
he's so solid. He's been so good for that team.
We'll see. Him in the post against Al Horford and Josh Smith. I like the Hawks' athleticism there.
It's really an interesting matchup, them and the Hawks. I like the athleticism and the speed that's on that court. It'll be one of the fastest games, I think, or a series I think we'll watch.
All right,
One more
next
note.
topic.
All right.
Lastly, to the ice, Ben. The forever-lasting NHL playoffs are upon us. Who do you think
Forever-lasting.
will take home Lord Stanley's Cup?
Well, I'm actually just getting a recent bit of knowledge in my ear here that Cam Newton scored 4 touchdowns at Florida. But back to the NHL playoffs, Vancouver, San Jose would be my ideal Western Conference Finals. Because 2 small markets. I like the Sharks. They've caved the last few years, choked in the clutch. Same with the Canucks. In the other side, I think Tampa Bay with Steven Stamkos. He's a future star. You have Vincent Lecavalier, and Martin St. Louis. Great mentors for him. The Hurricanes didn't make the playoffs, so I'm really not that interested in it. But I always love a good overtime game. What do you think?
I got to go with the Caps, man. Hometown thing. I got to go with the Caps. They're the #1 seed. They looked good in that first series. They really did. They had a couple good comeback wins. They were down 3-0 in the third period, and they had a comeback win. Never looked back the rest of the series. Never even were behind again the rest of the series. I really like the Caps. I think that they can make some moves. The Bruins are also looking really good. They got a quick start in their second series. I like you. I'm not huge huge into hockey, but I love watching good games. I love an overtime game. An overtime game, there's really not much more exciting, and it's a fun thing to watch, around this time of year.
Boston, Washington would be great because, you have Zdeno Chara versus Ovi. Ovi, he skates around fearless. Like, really, he really does not care about who hits him. But, when you have 6'8", 280 pounds of Zdeno Chara coming at you, you're going to duck. You're going to try to move out of the way,
We'll see. It'll be interesting. I always like this time of year. You get both hockey and basketball playoffs going on at the same time.
Absolutely. Well, that's about all the time we have today. I just want to thank Danny, Lucas, Joe Browning, everyone at Seahawk Central Sports for making this year as great as it was, and we thank you all for watching. And I'll be back next year on Seahawk Central News. This guy is graduating. You can call him Van Wilder. He's finally making it out of college. So any final thoughts?
Stay in school, kids. Stay in school.
For 6 years. We'll see it. Oh, yeah, we got Bin Laden. What up?